What is going on, Pats Nation, and welcome back into another post-game show here on Patriots Global. As always, I'm your host, Colby Cochran. Yes, I know that it is a day later from the game. We usually like to do post-game, as you can imagine, post-game. But yesterday, for those of you who don't know, was my 24th birthday. We did a live watch party. We did our post-game over on Bleacher Report, and I did want to at least be able to see a little bit of my family for a short period of time as they did want to celebrate. So we did push post-game to today. Big shout out to all of you who are very, very generous on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Our Discord, wishing me a happy birthday. You guys are the absolute best. And this is why Patriots Nation and the Patriots Global family is number one, point blank, period, second to absolutely no one. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And it means the absolute world to me. Fortunately, Rob was not able to make it today, so you guys only got me. Hopefully that's okay. But we're going to break down all of my thoughts here from this Patriots and Browns game. We've had a little bit over 24 hours to allow this game to just kind of sit, to just kind of settle, and kind of gather our thoughts about this New England Patriots win. This is now the fifth straight win for New England. Last time this Patriots team lost was week 3 at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that was really the only game this season that, if you look at it, the Patriots really lost, because week one rather, was the only game the Patriots really lost. That game week 3 against Pittsburgh, 5 turnovers, they beat themselves. It ultimately goes down to the wire. So now 5 straight wins for New England, their third blowout so far this season throughout 8 weeks, 32-13, a blowout now against the Cleveland Browns, a blowout against the Carolina Panthers, a blowout last week against the Tennessee Titans. And I think that's what's also impressive. It's not just 3 blowouts, it's also 2 blowouts in back-to-back weeks. And I think when you look around the narrative about this win for the Patriots, and really a few of their wins this season, it's, oh, well, the Patriots have an easy schedule, and what really have the Patriots done? You can't say the Patriots haven't beat a good team. The Patriots did beat a good team. They went in Sunday Night Football with the world watching, and they went in after one real confident win on the season, that being against the Carolina Panthers, their second win of the season at that time, and they won. They won against the Buffalo Bills, a team that was the only undefeated team left in the league, a team that had won 15 straight at Orchard Park, and they made a statement. So the Patriots have beat a good team, but you can't say the Patriots haven't beaten multiple good teams, or that the Patriots are beating up on bad teams, because they didn't ask for this schedule. The Patriots over the last few years have had the hardest schedule in the NFL. Now they have one of the easier, not the easiest schedule in the league this year, by the way, but one of the easier schedules, and they're beating these teams by blowing them out. It's one thing to say, wow, you're beating good teams, but you're keeping them close. They're not confident wins. The Patriots are playing bad teams, and they are quite literally blowing them out. So you can't say the Patriots haven't played a good team or beat a good team, but you also can't say that they are not beating up on the bad teams like good teams are supposed to do. And I think that's one of the biggest narratives involving this New England Patriots team. And so the other thing too is that I think you just see that the Patriots are just getting better each and every single week. When you look at their metrics over at PFF, the Patriots heading into this game were like the 22nd ranked defense. They were tied for 22nd. That defense is getting better and better as time goes on. They're starting to figure things out. That offense continues to remain top 10 in the NFL. Overall, PFF has the New England Patriots as a top 10 team in the league, coming in 9th overall. They have the offense as 8th overall. They have the defense now 12th overall. That special teams 29th overall. Still a lot for them to figure out. At the end of the day, though, what matters most for the offense and what matters most for the defense? Well, offensively, what matters most is scoring points. According to PFF, the Patriots have now scored 213 points through 8 weeks of the 2025 season. That ranks 4th in the NFL. The New England Patriots offense is top 5 in the National Football League in scoring points. They are top 10 in the NFL in passing offense. I don't think any of us saw that coming just 8 weeks into this brand new regime. From a defensive standpoint, certainly still things that they do have to figure out, but they've allowed 146 total points through 8 weeks of this season. That is tied for 5th best in the league. So while the Patriots are top 5 in scoring points offensively, they are also top 5 in preventing points defensively, and that's what matters most. This offense is scoring points, and the defense is bend but don't break. They might allow you to get down the field. They might allow you to score some points, or they might allow you to get down the field, but they're not going to let you score points. And at the end of the day, that is quite literally, at least to me, all that matters. But I do want to transition on back over to this Cleveland Browns game and New England Patriots to kind of talk about each of these positions here and kind of break them down. And I do want to start off here with, of course, Drake May, because this is another game where Drake May had a pretty damn good a game. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, but the interception, oh, but the fumble. He put the ball in harm's way. He put the ball in harm's way for the first time since week 3. The narrative about Drake May heading into 2025 was he has all the intangibles, but can he stop turning the football over? Drake May was averaging 2 turnovers a game last year, roughly. He hasn't turned the football over heading into week 8 since week 3. To me personally, I would say that's improvement. Overall on the day, Drake May goes 18 of 24 with a 75% completion percentage for 282 yards, man. He was 18 yards away from a 300-yard game, man. If you guys were in the live watch party, you would know I wanted it so bad just to say, finally our quarterback has gotten to 300 yards, but they ultimately elected to just run the football out late into the game. But 15.7 yards per throw, 3 passing touchdowns. Drake May is also top 5 in the league in passing touchdowns. He had 1 interception. He was sacked 6 times. That was the big storyline there for the offense. And then an overall rating of 135.8. Leaving week 8, Drake May ties Patrick Mahomes for the longest streak of games with 200-plus passing yards or more and a 100-plus passer rating by a player under 24 all-time. Drake May continues to join the likes of some of the top quarterbacks in the league with their respective statistical categories. He joins the likes of Tom Brady's. He joins the likes of Patrick Mahomes, of Dan Marino. We can go on and on with these lists. I mean, last week, Drake May set a New England Patriots franchise record for his completion percentage of 91.2, which surpassed the New England Patriots great Tom Brady. We are seeing Drake May do all these things at just the age of 23. He played 13 games last season? 12, 13 games last season? One of those really shouldn't count because it was against the Jets where he got a concussion in like the first or second quarter. And he's only 23. I keep saying that, but I just want to reiterate the fact, like, this guy's only 23. When he played in high school, he was playing during the COVID times. And so he didn't get a lot of time to develop in high school. In college, he didn't get a whole lot of time to develop. We are seeing all of this, and Drake May is only scratching the surface. And a lot of people, I'm getting in my comments section, and it's Patriots fans telling me this too. You're overhyping Drake May. You're overhyping the Patriots. I'm not overhyping anything. I'm simply telling you the facts. I mean, what did you want me to say? Did you want me to say that the offense didn't do good against what was the number 1 graded defense in the National Football League with the Cleveland Browns? Because that was another narrative in this game. That, the Drake May's balling out, and the Patriots are balling out, but wait until they play a real defense. They played the best defense in the league. The Cleveland Browns had the second best pass rush unit heading into this game. And the New England Patriots didn't just win. They blew them out. The offense itself put up 32 points. The defense had a couple of interceptions, but the defense didn't get any the defense didn't get any touchdowns. The special teams didn't get any touchdowns. The 32 points came all from Drake May and this offense against the best defense in the league. I mean, that is the best well-rounded defense, arguably, at least one of them, in the NFL here in 2025. From Cleveland's secondary to their linebacker core to their pass rush and defensive line, led to you by Myles Garrett, who is one of the best edge defenders in NFL history. And they put up 32. And so that narrative needs to go away. Because again, it's not about who the Patriots have played at this point. They've played against high caliber teams. They've played against what is considered the best defense in the league. And they still did the things that they did. Drake May wasn't perfect. And I want to make sure that I reiterate that fact. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he played a perfect game. Early on, it wasn't great from him. But he got better as the game goes along. And that's all that matters. They played their best football when it mattered. And last year in 2024, it just felt like Drake May and that offense, they would play well early on, but then the second half would come along and they would absolutely crap the bed. And that's why we started to see the Patriots lose a lot of games that they should have won or close games that they were completely in. Patriots are playing their best football when it matters. And yes, they have to do better and get off to a hot start immediately, but it's a work in progress. And at the end of the day, when you're top 5 in scoring points, I don't think any of us are truly going to argue that, they're not great in the first quarter, but then they become more and more dominant as time goes on. When I look at that interception from Drake May to the rookie linebacker Carson Schlesinger there for the Cleveland Browns, Drake May had a funny quote, okay? Like, I'm not going to lie. I was half asleep when I read the quote this morning, and I laughed my absolute ass off. Excuse me for the language. Him saying, so Drake May's quote about his interception to Carson Schlesinger was, yeah, I forgot other guys could jump. Like, for verbatim, that was his quote. Yeah, forgot other guys could jump. And so it was a really, really bad interception by Drake May. It looked like he was trying to have this no-look pass. You had Stephon Diggs on a crossing route, which even if Carson Schlesinger isn't there, even if Drake May can fit it over his head, I still don't love the decision on giving it to Stephon Diggs there. It looks like Drake May's eyes are right here, and Stephon Diggs is going by, and it just looks like Drake May's trying to put off some magician-type magic, do this no-look pass to try to make sure that the defense doesn't read him so that he doesn't turn the football over, but little does he know, Carson Schlesinger is right next to him and just tosses the football to him like they're playing backyard football. So really bad play by Drake May. I'm not going to get on him too much for it because, again, these aren't plays that we're seeing Drake May make on the regular. If we consistently saw him making those types of plays, or he was consistently turning the ball over, I'd be sitting here telling you, all right, yeah, like this is a problem. This isn't okay. Like, we got to change something. But that's not what's happening here. And so, again, as long as he can get back to playing turnover-free football, it is what it is. Chalk it up under, this is a guy that's still learning from his growing pains and, has finally played a full season worth of football games, and it's a bad football play. Some of the best quarterbacks, make bad football plays still. And so it is what it is. But as for the fumble, that was another bad one. Luckily, the Patriots did recover it, and so we're not talking about it as much. I believe it was Jared Wilson with the fumble recovery, but you had Myles Garrett come behind him on Drake May's blind side. May doesn't see him, goes to pass, and the ball just gets taken right out. May does have to have better pocket awareness in that situation, but also at the same time, we can transition to the offensive line. This offensive line was absolutely horrific, and we knew that this was going to be one of the biggest tests they have all season long. Spoiler alert, you play the Falcons in week 9, and the Atlanta Falcons also have one of the best pass rush units in the NFL. That's going to be another test here. And so while Atlanta doesn't have a Myles Garrett, they do still have very good players led to you by 2 star rookies that they drafted in 2025. And so when I look at this O-line and I see Drake May was sacked 6 times, he was under pressure from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. I think that's also what makes this impressive, is that, yes, he turned the football over, but his internal clock was also being sped up. And I'm not trying to give him an excuse, but when you're under pressure that consistently, how many quarterbacks are going to get sacked 6 times, but still have a 135.8 passer rating with a 75% completion percentage and put up 32 points? And so, despite the turnovers, I did think that Drake May excelled the offensive line past its limitations. I think Josh McDaniels excelled the offensive line past its limitations. It wasn't just Will Campbell that had a welcome to the NFL type of game. Wherever Myles Garrett was lining up, he was wreaking havoc. Myles Garrett, 5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, a forced fumble on the game, 6 total tackles. He was getting to Drake May, whether he was lining up against Will Campbell, Morgan Moses, he was lining up on the interior. It didn't matter where he was getting to Drake May. And that's kind of just where you tip your cap and you say, you went up against one of the best to ever do it. You lost, and it kind of is what it is. I will say I haven't been on as big on this Patriots offensive line as some people are. I do think that it is much improved over what we saw from 2 years. I think that's legit. But the Patriots had, according to PFF, I believe it was, the second best pass blocking unit in the league. And I didn't buy into that. I believe that a lot of it was Drake May excelling the O-line past its limitations. I believed it was Josh McDaniels scheming things up, getting Drake May outside the pocket, flushing him out to kind of diminish some of that pressure on him. I didn't think it was as good as somebody who watches every single snap of this football team. And today it bit them in the butt. Today they faced yesterday they faced a legit team, and it bit them in the butt because they couldn't scheme it up well enough to excel the O-line past its limitations because of the talent level that the Cleveland Browns had on the defensive side of the football. And you saw that they tried. They tried to slow down Myles Garrett. They kept in Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson. They kept in Hunter Henry to try to trip block Myles Garrett before Myles Garrett would get to Will Campbell, Morgan Moses, whoever the blocker was, but the O-line wasn't having that communication. Passing off the blocks was really difficult for this O-line all game long, whether it was Ramondre Stevenson to Will Campbell to Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry to Will Campbell. Like, it wasn't there, and it felt like some of these guys were just a tick behind in picking up the blocker, and because of that, you're going up against Myles Garrett, who has the speed, he has the power to get past you, and he certainly took advantage of that. And so you're not going to face pass rushes like Cleveland, like Myles Garrett every single week, and so don't expect that to happen every single week, but you got the biggest test, or at least one of the biggest tests you're going to have all season long, and the O-line failed. Moving on here to the running game, though, I was really, really impressed. I mean, look, was it spectacular? No. Did we have a running back go for 100-plus yards? No. But TreVeyon Henderson broke out to an extent, right? He almost went for his first 100-yard game in his NFL career, and he went for 10 attempts, 75 yards, led the Patriots in rushing yards, 7.5 yards per run, long run of 27 yards. Unfortunately, did have a fumble late into the game in the red zone. Cleveland ended up recovering at the 1-yard line. And so when I look at the run game, they were going up against a top 3 run defending unit in the Cleveland Browns. It's very difficult to run against Cleveland. And I said coming into this game, in the preview of this game with Rob, I said, I'm not expecting to get much out of the running game. I'm expecting for this offense to be one-dimensional. I'm not expecting the run game to pick up where it left off against Tennessee, but they did. And is this an offense that's going to have a top 10 rushing offense in the league now? No. But I think, can you go from a bottom 3 rushing unit to the 20th best rushing unit? I think that is possible if they can continue to keep this up, because the Patriots are winning through the air. They're winning with Drake May. They're winning with their wide receivers. You don't need Henderson and Stevenson to go for 150, 200 all-purpose yards there on the ground. It's not what you need. You just need the running game to be effective and efficient enough for you to be able to open up the RPO game, for you to be a multi-dimensional offense, because the last thing you want is you can't run the ball, so the defense is just going to play everything in the secondary. They're going to put an extra defensive back on the field, not carry about the run game, but just try to take everything away from your passing game. You want them to respect that you can do both things, because that will, again, open up the RPO game, open up the passing game, and that'll just make Drake May better, more efficient. We'll see more splash plays down the field, and I think that's possible, right? If you can get 70, 80 rush yards per game and not have to run the ball, 30 times, and you can average 5+ yards per carry, 4.5 yards per carry, I think that's good enough from this football team. And I think we're starting to see that the running game is going a little bit more. The blocking from the offensive line still inconsistent, but it is getting better. I thought TreVeyon Henderson in this game was very impressive with the holes that he was hitting. Henderson's issues have been that he's been a liability to this team. Pass protection hasn't been there. Pass catching hasn't been there in terms of consistency with Drake May. And when he's running, he's not hitting the proper holes. He's running into blockers. This game, I thought he was more patient. I thought he hit the proper holes. And so that was a sign of life against a very good Cleveland Browns defense. I also like that the Patriots played to the strengths of TreVeyon Henderson. They gave him a lot of outside runs. When they're running the ball up the gut, you're asking him to invite contact, and that's not the game of TreVeyon Henderson. That's Ramondre Stevenson. Henderson is not going to put his shoulders down and run through a brick wall and stiff arm 50 defenders and carry 5 guys on his back and shake off 12 guys. It's just not what he does. He wins with speed. And so when you allow him to get into second gear and kind of kick in that speed that he has and get into the outside and find his blockers and beat guys with speed and not with power, that's how he wins. And so I do still think they have to find ways to get TreVeyon Henderson a little bit more versatility in the middle of the O-line, because if Henderson's going to be on the field and opposing defenses know that he's going to run the football on the play, and they also know that he's going to run the football to the outside, well, now you're predictable. Now it's going to be a lot harder to get him going. You got to be able to keep the defense on its toes a little bit. And so that is one thing I think they need to work on with TreVeyon, but I at least thought, nonetheless, this was a step in the right direction. And given the opponent that it was against, again, I think 75 yards, averaging 7.5 yards per carry was a very good showing there by TreVeyon. Drake May was second on the Patriots in rushing yards, 7 carries, 50 yards, 7.1 yards per rush, long carry of 28. I didn't really see any moments where I was like, Drake May's taking off too soon. And even if that was the case, well, okay, he was sacked 6 times. He's being pressured on every single play. I actually thought the elusiveness of Drake May in the pocket to see the hole, notice the pocket is collapsing in a split second, and just dart outside of the pocket. I mean, Drake May was looking like a running back out there at times, how fast he was. And that's why Drake May translates so well to the NFL game today, and how modernized it's been with mobile quarterbacks is because he can do it through the air. He can sit in the pocket and he can burn you, but he can also get outside the pocket when you're facing an elite pass rush like Cleveland to be able to use his legs and extend the play. A lot of times it was just Drake May getting back to the line of scrimmage or picking up just a gain of 2 or 3 when the pocket was breaking down. But it became the difference between a positive play and losing 5 yards on almost nearly every single play, and backing the offense up more and more. And so Drake May, overall, great testament to him. Ramondre Stevenson, 14 carries. He actually led the team in overall carries, but only 34 yards, 2.4 yards per carry. I thought he had some good runs. I thought it wasn't necessarily indicative of the way that he was running, but there was just so many times where Ramondre Stevenson lost 5 yards on a carry because as soon as he touched the ball, there were like 5 Cleveland Browns defenders there in the backfield to stop him for a major loss. And so again, I don't think it's on Ramondre Stevenson that he had a bad game. I thought it was just more so on the blocking up front that kind of let him down at times. I thought Terrell Jennings too. There were really good moments late in the fourth quarter when the Patriots were just trying to wind this game down, where he had some really, really good, powerful runs. Would not mind if Terrell Jennings is the third down back. I wouldn't mind to see Jennings get more carries early on in the game also. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to the trade deadline and I'm saying, wow, this New England Patriots team certainly needs to find a running back. No, I'm looking at this team now and I'm saying, like, okay, like, is he Antonio Gibson? No. Is he a replacement for Travion Henderson's speed like Gibson could be? No. He can run really, really hard, and I think he's underrated in that category. Wouldn't mind seeing, Terrell Jennings have a couple more runs. And then Pop Douglas getting 1 carry on the ground on that jet sweep. He goes actually 2 carries for 3 yards, 1.5 yards per carry. Not too much to write home about, but I thought the offensive play calling was really, really unique by Josh McDaniels. I think as the weeks go on, we're seeing that Josh McDaniels is opening up the playbook a little bit. We saw a double pass from the Patriots in this game where it was Drake May to Ramondre throwing back to Drake May with the defender in his face, throws down the field and hits, who was it? Actually, I'm trying to think right now who did Drake May hit down the field? He hit Mac Hollins, that's who it was. He had Mac Hollins down the field with the defender in his face for like a 20-plus yard reception. And so really like what I was also seeing for the most part in terms of play calling. Early on in the game, I didn't love it. As the game went on, started to get a little bit more creative. But let's go ahead and let's get into some of your guys' super chats because you are being very, very generous. My boy SGT Moonshine, $5 donation, says, how can people still say May doesn't deserve to be in MVP talks? It's wild to me. He's played great football and he's only going to get better. And so, like, people are making me out to be a bad guy. I'm going to be honest. Like, people are building up the evil side in me because I will call the Patriots out when they need to. You guys know that. I've been here calling the Patriots out for 2 years. I called the Patriots out in the first couple of weeks of this season when they were not performing well. To say that May is not in the MVP conversation, he beat the Buffalo Bills in prime time. He just blew out and put up 32 points against the Cleveland Browns, who have the number 1 defense in the league. I mean, in every category, May is top 5. He's even the best in some categories. There's no category that he's outside of the top 10. And so I don't understand it either. I just think it's one of those situations where people don't want to believe that the Patriots could be good again. People don't want to believe that the Patriots might have, a quarterback yet again, because they had Tom Brady for 20 years, the best of all time. You're telling me they have a guy who in year 2 at 23 years old is already top 3 in the MVP conversation? It gives people a little bit of PTSD, and I think they're coping and they're trying to find excuses to make. I even have Patriots fans telling me, like, dude, you're hyping up Drake May and this team way too much. And I'll say, then tell me one thing that I've said that was incorrect, because that's why I back up what I say. I believe in what is being shown to me. And if you can back up what you're saying, how are you going to say somebody is wrong? And nobody can ever give me a reason as to why I'm hyping this team up too much. And Patriots fans' arguments to that ends up being, look, I just have PTSD from this team, which is understandable. This Patriots team hasn't been good over the last few years. But at the end of the day, this isn't the same regime that we've seen in since 2020. This is a new regime. This is a new quarterback. This is a team led to you by Mike Vrabel. And so you kind of have to put down that PTSD. I'm not saying be unrealistic, but what I'm saying is that understand what is being shown to you. Don't allow that PTSD to allow you to be negative and say the Patriots will never be something. Because I think we have some Patriots fans in the chat that are like that can't believe that somehow maybe we found something that's good. And so they just believe that the Patriots that they've seen over the last 5 years is what this New England Patriots team is. But again, it's not the same quarterback. It's not the same coaching staff. And these are things that we certainly have to remember. Let's get into our next super chat. We got Crex. Is that it? CH3REX. Crex. That's what I'm going to say. Crex. $10 donation. Says, rah, love this team. Let's try to get one of them edge rushers before the deadline. And so it sounds like you know exactly what this team is doing, and we're going to do a live stream about this later this week because it sounds like the Patriots are looking to add more on the defensive side of the football, not the offensive side of the football, and the position that I keep hearing with this team is the edge position. In fact, there were names that were thrown out there that the Patriots could potentially be looking to target, and so we're going to do a live stream about that later this week. So, of course, make sure you guys stay tuned. But shout out to my guy for a massive, massive $10 donation, man. Real quick, before we get on to the remainder of today's show, getting on into the defense and my thoughts about that, do want to let you guys know that we are, of course, giving away 5 New England Patriots rivalry jerseys from Fanatics. I've teamed up with Fanatics. They sent me my jersey already. We are giving away not the 3D printed jerseys, but we are giving away the jerseys of a value of $190. And we don't just want one of you to be a winner. We want 5 of you guys to be a winner. We are talking about the real authentic New England Patriots rivalry jerseys. We're talking about the stitched on NFL logos with the stitched on stars and the stitched on NEs on the sleeve, man. These are the best feeling jerseys. Nothing weird, but the best feeling jerseys that I'm telling you I have ever had. These things are more beautiful in person. This graphic does not do justice. The images, the videos do not do it justice. When I opened up my Fanatics package, I absolutely could not believe how beautiful this jersey was. In fact, if the Patriots made this a full-time jersey at some point, I would not be mad because of just how spectacular this thing looks. If you guys want to enter the giveaway to win one of these 5 jerseys, we will be announcing 2 winners less than a week from today on our live watch party versus the Falcons. And then we are going to give away 3 jerseys the following week during our live watch party against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe here to the channel at Patriots Global, and follow us on TikTok at Patriots Global. We are going to drop that into the chat for you guys to follow us straight on TikTok if you haven't already. We post a lot of content over on TikTok, from Patriots-related content to NFL-related content, and we want to hit our follower goal by the end of the season over there of 10,000 followers. So if you want to win one of these rivalry jerseys, again, all you got to do is leave a like on this video, subscribe here on YouTube at Patriots Global, and follow us on TikTok also at Patriots Global. So let's go ahead and let's transition back to this game. Actually, before we do that, I also want to let you guys know real quick about one of the sponsors of the video over at Kalshi. In fact, let me pull up Kalshi here real quick for you guys because I want to look at the lines so far for these upcoming games. So let's see. So let's go to football. Let's go to pro football and let's see if we have these out. And we do. So right now we have what the lines are set at for New England Patriots week 9 against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to share these with you guys because 68% of people are taking the New England Patriots to win. You see a lot of money is coming in on this one. 32% is taking Atlanta. Atlanta coming off of a big, major blowout loss against the New England Patriots in division rival Miami Dolphins. The money is just going up on the Pats while the money is going down here for Atlanta. Kalshi is not a sports book. They're the best damn predictions market on the platform. If you want to make some extra money this football season, there is one place to do it, and it is over on Kalshi. I've had the best possible time making some cash this year on Kalshi. All of the odds and the trends that you see right here, they are made up not by Kalshi, but these are people's real opinions and real thoughts. These are the lines of what people have put on this game over time since, October 21st. So you can see how over time people's opinions are changing on these lines from Kalshi. And that's my favorite thing about them. Not only do they have sports props, but they also have things such as politics, entertainment. You can bet on, hey, is it going to rain tomorrow? You can put your lines on, when's the government going to open back up? All of this and more over on Kalshi. They're available in every single state. And if you are ultimately run on your take, Kalshi does not make a single cent off you. We'll pin them in the chat. Remember that supporting the sponsors, that supports the channel, supports us significantly here at Patriots Global. But getting back here into the New England Patriots defense. In fact, real quick, let me put Kalshi pinned in the chat for you guys. If I can find the Kalshi. There we go. Just in case you guys want to check out Kalshi, put the link here for you guys. The cool thing, too, is that Kalshi is not just a website, but they're also an app. And so that's how you know they're legit, when they got an app. Makes it so much easier. Oh, shoot, I spelled Kalshi wrong. That's classic Colby right there. This is why I need a producer, you guys. We do everything on the show by ourselves in real time. But we just pinned Kalshi in the chat for you guys. Let's get to the remainder of this game. Getting into the New England Patriots wide receivers, Mac Hollins led the Patriots in receiving yards today, caught everything that was thrown his way. It was his welcome to the New England Patriots game. 7 targets, 7 receptions, 89 yards, 12.7 yards per catch, and a long catch of 21 yards. This is a New England Patriots team in the offense under Josh McDaniels and Drake May, to where if you want to take away the number one weapon, you want to take away Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, that is okay, because Drake May will beat you with his number 4 or number 5 weapon. Matt Collins isn't number 1 wide receiver here. He's not wide receiver 2. He's wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. But today he led you in receiving yards and put up almost 100 yards against the number 1 defense in the NFL with a very, very good secondary. And so that is just Drake May doing what Drake May does. That is the identity of Drake May. Drake May has always said he wants to disperse the ball out to his offense. He doesn't want to hone in on one guy because he wants to give every guy on the offense opportunities to go out there and make plays. And the great part about that is it also makes this offense more difficult for defenses to face, because if Drake May just focused on, let's say, Stephon Diggs the entire game, if teams saw that, they would say, we're going to take away Stephon Diggs. And now they're going to say, we'll force you to beat us with the rest of your offense, which we don't believe you can do. But because Drake May can go everywhere, opposing defenses can double any guy on this team. It's not going to affect Drake May, because he'll beat you with Demario Douglas. He'll beat you with Matt Collins if he needs to. Damn it, Drake May has shown that he will beat you with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson if he needs to. And that's the great thing. But outside of Matt Collins, you had Kayshon Boutte with his 3rd straight touchdown in 3 games. In fact, over the last 3 weeks, he has 4 touchdowns. This game, he was 5 targets, 3 receptions, 75 yards, 25 yards per reception with 1 touchdown, long catch of 39 yards. Believe it or not, Kayshon Boutte is actually top 5 amongst wide receivers in the NFL in yards per reception. So he's one of the best deep threats in the NFL, as crazy as that might sound. Demario Douglas, not necessarily doing a whole lot for this team, but it feels like over the last couple of weeks, he'll make even just 1 big-time reception, and he did that in this game. 1 target, 1 reception, 44 yards. Outside of that, it was just kind of dinking and dunking. Austin Hooper, 38 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 15 yards. Hunter Henry, 7 yards. Stephon Diggs didn't do much. He was tied for 2nd most targets on the team with 5, but he only had 3 receptions. That was actually tied for 2nd on the team. He was tied with Kayshon Boutte, but only 14 yards, 4.7 yards per reception, but he did have his first touchdown. You saw with that big 8-yard reception that he had, he was just a yard short from getting the touchdown, and he's slamming the turf and he's slamming the ground, and you could just tell that he wanted that touchdown so bad. And so what did the Patriots do? They said, it's well overdue. Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel, they said, let's get our guy his first touchdown of the season. Mike Vrabel saying after the game that it was, and I quote, long overdue. They go back to the air on the 1-yard line. What do? Back-to-back plays. They go to Stephon Diggs. It's Matt Collins and Diggs over on the left side. Matt Collins blocks his guy, which means Diggs is now 1-on-1. Diggs catches the ball, 1-yard line, goes in, touchdown. He's on the sideline. He's getting lit. He's jumping on the back of Drake May, which, maybe Stephon Diggs, let's get hype, but maybe let's not jump on the back of our quarterbacks when he's not looking. But he's going up to Mike Vrabel, and he's doing the New England Patriots celebration to Vrabes. Vrabes is doing the celebration back. And look, it's such a little thing, But getting the monkey off your back on just getting your first touchdown of the season 8 weeks in, it really makes me wonder how Diggs is going to kind of change his mentality moving forward. And his mentality has already been great on the season. But my point just being, because of how lit the entire team was after that Stephon Diggs touchdown. You had the offense going crazy, the defense going crazy, the coaching staff going crazy. You had Diggs more happy than I've ever seen him. I wonder if this is going to make him even more motivated moving forward, which if he is, that is certainly a scary thought. But moving on here to the Patriots defense, look, at the end of the day, they only allowed 13 points to this Cleveland Browns offense, and so they're doing their job. We talked about it earlier. This is a team, a defense in the New England Patriots that is top 5 in points allowed. So they're not allowing a whole lot of points. They are quite literally a bend but don't break defense. This defense performed how I told you guys it was going to perform. This is who they are. This is their identity. You want them to be able to start off faster, because it's going to matter against better offenses like you're going to face even in 2 weeks against Tampa Bay. But nonetheless, when you're bend but don't break and you only allow 13 points, how upset can you truly be? They went out there, and this is another game where the Patriots defense allowed an opening drive touchdown to Cleveland. Dillon Gabriel looked really, really good on that opening drive. Harold Fannin Jr. capitalizes with like a 30, I believe it was 33 yard, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was a 19-yard, actually. I don't know where the 33 came from. It was a 19-yard touchdown to the rookie tight end, Harold Fannin Jr., that allowed Cleveland to go up early. And it looked like, all right, this is going to be one of those games where it really is a trap game, and the New England Patriots are going to have to come back from behind. And it is like, no, this is just what they do. First quarter, the New England Patriots are going to put this fan base into a position where everybody's negative. And, oh, here we go again. Oh, the old Patriots are back. Oh, we're about to lose. We're about to get blown out. It's like, nah. Watch this, because this is the worst football that we are going to play for all 4 quarters. And K'Lavon Chaisson saying this past week that the defense really rallies together after they make that first play. They say we do start off slow, we do struggle in the beginning, but when we get that first big play, everything changes, the momentum changes, and we become a better football team. I mean, the Cleveland Browns tried a lot of different things. They opened up the playbook, they got really creative, and the defense was able to sniff it out. The Cleveland Browns had a double pass. K'Lavon Chaisson came up and was a big reason on why that play didn't work. They did a lot of misdirection. They did some end arounds. They did some jet sweeps. They did a lot of creative things. I mean, even Malachi Corley, the wide receiver, getting some opportunities as a running back there on the ground, because he's one of the best yards after the catch guy in the NFL in terms of his ability. And so, nonetheless, again, this is what you're going to get with the defense. Struggles in quarter 1, gets better as time goes on, and they're going to play their best football into the second half more specifically. Dillon Gabriel on the day finishes going 21 of 35 for only 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked 1 time, 2 interceptions, and an overall rating of 65.9. What really impressed me about Dillon Gabriel was that he was pressured more than what the stat sheet is going to say. He was only sacked 1 time, but this guy was getting outside the pocket. He was flushed outside. He's throwing on the run a lot because of how much that pressure was getting to him by this New England Patriots pass rush. And they were able to take advantage of a bad offensive line that Cleveland currently has because of all the injuries that they have. Dillon Gabriel, although he's a rookie 3rd-round pick, yes, he's not the future there of Cleveland. Yes, I'm not telling you he's a good quarterback, but since he took over for Cleveland and Joe Flacco this season, he does not turn the football over. What did the Patriots do? They said, we are one of the better defenses in the league. We are one of the most aggressive defenses in the league, and we are one of the best teams in forcing turnovers. What did they do? They forced Dillon Gabriel into 2 turnovers in this game, both in the second half. Robert Spillane comes out in the 3rd quarter, interception. Jalen Hawkins comes out there in the second half, gets a one-handed, insane interception. Dillon Gabriel tried to bomb the football down the field to give this Cleveland Browns offense some life. It wasn't even necessarily a bad pass. It was just Jalen Hawkins had a way, way better play that you just don't see defensive backs make. And again, it's those types of plays that are just giving this defense more and more and more momentum as time goes on. As for the rushing attack, the New England Patriots, yet again, this defense stands tall. Top 3 run defending unit in the National Football League. I believe the Patriots actually sit at 2nd. This is the first team since 1970, this Patriots defense, since 1970, to not allow an opposing running back to go for 50 or more yards in 8 games. The Patriots defense in not allowing running backs to do anything against them is making opposing offenses and quarterbacks one-dimensional. They are saying, beat us through the air, because that's how the Patriots want to win. The Patriots want to win with their pass rush. They want to win with their secondary. And by shutting down the run game, that is exactly how you win. And so far, it has worked for them this season. That's why you're seeing that bend but don't break defense, because at some point, yes, quarterbacks are going to make plays through the air. They're going to have some splash plays when they're forced to throw the ball, 30, 40 times in a game against this Patriots defense. But at some point, that pass rush is going to get there. At some point, opposing offenses are going to get tired. And so far through 8 weeks, this defense has played the exact way that they wanted to. Malachi Corley, the wide receiver, led the Cleveland Browns in rushing yards, 1 carry, 31 yards. Quinshon Judkins, before he went down with his injury, 9 carries, 19 yards, 2.1 yards per carry. Dylan Gabriel, 1 carry, 13 yards. Dylan Sampson, 3 carries, 0 yards. Just a stout performance by the defense. I mean, Harold Fannin Jr. and David Njoku were their leading receivers today for Cleveland's offense, and that didn't surprise me, because I even said leading up to this game, I know how this is going to go. You are going to have Cleveland eat with their tight ends. Both their tight ends are probably going to lead them in receiving yards, and that's exactly what happened. Harold Fannin Jr., the rookie tight end out of Bowling Green, goes 8 targets, 6 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. David Njoku started to cook the Patriots late in the game in garbage time. 5 targets, 4 receptions, 37 yards, 9.3 yards per catch, and 1 touchdown. Other than that, the Patriots shut down their receiving core. Thrash goes 31 yards. Dylan Sampson, the rookie running back, goes 29 yards. Jerry Jeudy was targeted 2 times with 0 receptions, 0 yards. Isaiah Bond, the speedster rookie wide receiver, he was targeted 4 times with 0 receptions on 0 yards. Ford, the running back, went for -1 yard in the receiving game. Judkins went for -2 yards in the receiving game. I mean, Christian Gonzalez was absolutely dominant in this game. He was targeted 7 times and didn't allow anyone to do anything against him. So great game there, of course, for Christian Gonzalez, who was mainly going up against Jerry Jeudy all game. And Jerry Jeudy is absolutely no slouch. And so, again, it is going to be a big test for this New England Patriots defense, more specifically over the next 2 weeks. How are you going to perform against potentially Michael Penix, if not Kirk Cousins, this upcoming week against Atlanta, and then the following week playing Baker Mayfield, who is top 3 in the MVP conversation, even despite with some of the injuries that they are dealing with at the wide receiver position. And so we saw the offense have their true test. We're going to see the defense have their true test, and I'm certainly excited to see what they can do. But that's kind of going to wrap it up for today's show. We got Jason coming in here with a $5 donation and says, belt to ass, let's go Pats. 3rd time this season that they've put belt to ass. Again, I want to reiterate that. You put belt to ass this week. You put belt to ass last week against the Titans. And then a few weeks ago in week 4, you put belt to ass against the Carolina Panthers. And I don't think this is going to be the last time that we see the New England Patriots provide a blowout. That is 3 blowouts in 8 weeks. So in almost 50% of the Patriots games this season, they have provided a blowout. I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to let that sink in. I don't care if it's a bad team or not. Okay? Because a lot of NFL teams have trouble confidently beating bad teams. They might beat them, but they might not confidently beat them. The fact that the Patriots are not just beating up on bad teams, but they are blowing them out confidently. That is a testament to this New England Patriots team. Period. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how bad you are. Blowouts don't just happen. They are few and far between. And for the Patriots to do it in almost 50% of their games this season, I don't care who the opponent is. That is beyond impressive. Beyond impressive. But guys, look, that is going to end it out for today's video. Big shout out to Kalshi again for sponsoring the video. Make sure you guys go ahead, click that link, download Kalshi. Remember that supporting the sponsors does support the channel. Check out some of their lines because let me tell you, it is the best way to make money. Again, all of the odds and the trends you see, those are people putting their thoughts and their opinions on those lines. It's not fake odds put out there by Kalshi to try and trick you. So make sure you guys check them out. Make sure you guys also enter the giveaway to win a New England Patriots rivalry jerseys. 2 of them will be announced during our live watch party against the Falcons. The final 3 will be announced 2 weeks from now when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is where we kick it off to you guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And so, we see DTN saying no Patreon members this time. So no Patreon members this time. We will have you guys back on later on this week Of course, we'll have you guys to preview on the Falcons game. We'll have you guys on to do the post-game show against the Falcons. We're also going to do some other live shows involving the trade deadline that you guys can also come on this week. So on a bit of a crunch time, so we're not going to have you guys on this week, but lots of other shows that you guys will be able to certainly tune into. Do your boy a favor, leave a like on the video on your way out if you have not already. Subscribe here to Patriots Global for all your New England Patriots news, thoughts, reactions, live watch parties, post games, all of that good stuff, because we have some great stuff in the works for you guys as always. But until next time, appreciate you guys so much for watching, and never forget, go Pats.